India are going to play one warm-up game in the T20 World Cup 2024 versus Bangladesh. Now, it is a good thing because in 2007, India didn't play a warm-up game. When the tournament was last held in the West Indies in 2010, India didn't play a warm-up game because they finished their IPL campaign just 5 to 6 days prior to that. Now, India luckily have had the benefit of foresight for 14 years what happened. Now they are playing a warm-up game. Now you will all doubt the credibility as to whether you need to play a warm-up game. Because India are the absolute beasts when it comes to warm-up games in a T20 World Cup. You look at all the past instances, I've taken instances of 2014 until now. Now, it's a very interesting thing as to what happened in 2014 because India played two warm-up games. One was a Sri Lanka, which they lost by 5 runs, and they beat England by 20 runs. What was the result in 2014? India and Sri Lanka clashed in the final, but India lost. So in a way, acclimatizing to Mirpur and the conditions kind of helped India because they reached the final. But unfortunately, they couldn't pull off the line against Sri Lanka, who were much better acclimatized because they had a test series and an ODI series versus Bangladesh. Then they played the Asia Cup and then the T20 World Cup. So they had played for a good couple of months, and that's how India were undone by it. Now, look at what happened in 2021. India didn't play a warm-up game. They played certain warm-up games in 2016 as well. They beat the West Indies, and if you look at it, they did that as well. But in 2021, India beat Australia by 8 wickets, India beat England by 7 wickets. It was a comprehensive thrashing that they gave both teams. But what happened in the end? During the tournament, India's batting and bowling both collapsed. Against Pakistan they lost, against New Zealand they lost. They won the other 4 games very comprehensively. But when the 2 games that mattered, it did not help. So that is why these warm-up games didn't help India. 2022, India beat Australia by 6 wickets. That was the only warm-up that they played. But what happened to them? They lost in the semi-finals. Overall, when you look at it, India have lost only one warm-up game ever since 2014. Sure, in 2010 and 2012, they did play warm-up encounters. 16 also, they played certain warm-ups. But unfortunately, it has not translated into a big win for them. Look at all the others who played. West Indies played 2 warm-up games in 2016. England also played a couple of warm-up games. England played only 1 warm-up game against Pakistan in 2022. Australia, on the other hand, played 2 warm-up games. So, if you play about 1 or 2 warm-up matches, chances are that you might get at least to the knockout stages. India didn't even do that in 2010. They couldn't adjust to the West Indies conditions, and because of that, they were eliminated before the semi-finals. Warm-up games, whatever are the numbers, batting, bowling, fielding, none is counted. You can play as many players as you want. If you want, 15 players can be there at your disposal. So that's why, how much should you judge a warm-up game? Apart from mental space, maybe nothing else. But it gives you an indication that India do put in their all in the warm-up games, but unfortunately, they do not do well in the main tournaments. That could change in 2024, hopefully. Hopefully that happens. Thank you so much folks for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.